to MsTruffles as she platforms to safety and Scoot Kaboom and the Tomb of Doom. Take it away, Truffles.
Hello, hello. Yeah, as Eddie Joe said, I just got third place today. Earlier one while practicing. So yeah, very happy with that.
Congrats.
And thank you. And I'm gonna try to give you a good showcase of this game, which is named Scoot Kaboom and the Tomb of Doom. Yeah, that's a long name. It's a hardcore 2D platformer with a lot of traps, a lot of tight timings and stuff like that. And it's basically like Super Meat Boy, where you're where you're respawning very quickly. So just few things. There are a lot of skins in this game. I haven't unlocked all of them. Usually, what I'm doing is I'm choosing the skin based on where the game is in the schedule. But today, since I've got this massive 2-minute PB with this lovely hedgehog skin, I'm gonna choose it to give me some good luck, hopefully. And for the food that I will get at the end of the round, I'm gonna take the strawberry because earlier on stream, Laika said that it's basically a reference to Celeste. So strawberry equals Celeste for the Celeste fans, Celeste equals trans rights, so strawberry equals trans rights. So I think it's fitting. We are playing in speedrun mode because you don't have the cutscene at the beginning, and also the respawn time or even faster, it's instantaneous. That's very hard to say for me, sorry. And for the modifiers, the only one which is allowed is more checkpoints. I'm not comfortable playing without this modifier, so I will let it here. And I think we're ready now. I'm gonna start in 3, 2, 1, go!
Good luck, MsTruffles.
Thank you. So as you can see, the game is zoomed out at the beginning. I'm gonna zoom in because it's not practical like this. You can see the entire map of the game when zooming out by pressing Y on my controller, for instance. And it gives you a little bit of a sense of progression when you're completing some certain sections of the game. You will see that when you're playing on the main game mode, all the sections are obscured and you have to unlock them to see how they look like. But since I've already completed the game quite a few times, you can probably tell, you can actually see all the areas in the game if you are zooming out, I mean. The start of the game is pretty simple. The cycles are not too hard, but you will see that there will be a lot more difficult sections later in the game, as I will explain all the feeders. Also, talking while playing this game is hard. I have to warn you already. The little eggs, yeah, the little eggs you're seeing here, the blue and purple ones, are the checkpoints. I think the blue ones are the ones that you're getting if you have the more modifiers, more checkpoints modifier, I mean. And the purple ones are here already in the main game. So for now, the game is not too hard, and I'm getting a odd death as I'm saying this. But at some point, I swear the game is starting to be very hard. So
well, the really cool thing... Go ahead, Truffles. I was going to say the really cool thing about the game is when you first start it off, you see the entire map as Truffles started. It's one gigantic platform. It's all one continuous platform, and everything's cycling all at the same time. So you might make a little time here, or you might lose a little time there, and you have to take that into account because it's not like you... And then start making your movements based on that.
Yeah, that's true. And this is a death I didn't got in a while. Just because I started talking again. So hopefully I'm gonna have a little bit of help with your commentary as well. We talked about that before in DMs, because Hell, this game is hard to play and talk at the same time, as I said. And for now, it's not the real hard parts. You're seeing mostly the same traps for now. If you're wondering what is the plot of the game, basically the main character is a blue dinosaur. It's getting lured by a piece of chicken by a evil scientist, and basically it has to escape this fairly dangerous place. That's basically the plot of the game.
And I think you sell yourself just a little short, Truffles, because although this might seem like it is very easy to start, the reality is that each individual section brings something brand new that you haven't really seen before. Obviously, as a speedrunner, you've done it many, many times, but it builds upon itself. And a lot of these things are added into. So you'll have your trampolines that will then be mixed with, you know, some acid or some type of other item, just then your spears that you see that you could run into. And it just continues to get progressively harder as you go. So it's a very challenging platformer.
Yeah, indeed, and I didn't mention the trampolines probably because I have PTSD of them not working properly. It already happened, maybe you didn't saw it, I don't know, but it happened a lot in the game. Also, this introduced the first real difficult mechanic for me.
Yeah, and this mechanic that Truffles, and I'm going to let you go ahead and concentrate, and I'll take this for you. Yeah. This is the one place that you were like, Joe, I need you to do it for me. So this is, you've got timed platforms. So in the game, there are two different types of platforms. You can see the green and the yellow appearing coming up a little bit in the future, but the blue ones with the time on it, they are on a set timer. So as Truffles is going through this section, they have to take into consideration, okay, this one's going to be turning on, this one's going to be turning off, so they have to time up their jumps appropriately so they're not getting splatted like you see there, and then that becomes even harder when we start to introduce the green and the yellow, because now those are going to start every time you make a movement. So as you jump, it'll go from green to yellow and back and forth, and it just, again, it continues to build upon itself, which is why this is such an interesting and challenging platformer.
My timing is off right now. I had better timing while practicing earlier, and I got crushed. I don't even know how it happened, to be honest. At the very end of this checkpoint, so again, I'm gonna have to focus here.
That's all right. So as you can see, with it being on the timer, you do have to make sure that you're lining it up, and when you're speedrunning, you're really getting through it as fast as possible. And when you do that, sometimes you just jump the gun a little bit and you get into the spikes, or you end up getting squished like we've seen a couple of times that Truffles has done. This one you have to wait a little bit longer too, but the payoff is good because you're not going to have to deal with all of those spikes as soon as you start running. And as Truffles is also showing here, every time that they're making a jump, you'll see it change now to yellow, you'll see it change to green, and so on and so forth.
I hate being trapped here, that happens sometimes. This is a optional area in the game. You can have areas where you can collect some gems, which I'm not gonna do here, obviously, because this is any %. And usually they are very challenging. Maybe someday I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do this category. Sorry, again, I need to focus there.
That's okay. I think Truffles would agree this is one of the hardest areas of the entire game, just because of the understanding that you need to just time up your jumps appropriately, and then you mix in, like we're seeing there, you're mixing in the time as well. The time platforms, it really just makes it to where if you jump a little too soon, you end up ruining a platform or not having access to it, or getting squished or getting hit by some of the spikes that you see here. So it is very, very difficult, and she's doing an amazing job of really showing off all of the platform mechanics here and breezing through it.
And I just did this conveyor belt part perfectly, which sometimes can be very hard. Not the very beginning of it, but the last checkpoint used to be one of the worst parts for me. So I'm glad I did it first try. You will see more in the future in the round. You can jump when they are moving in the opposite side of you to go a little bit faster, and that's very helpful. Oh, I didn't go in at the right timing. If you have any update, by the way, or donations or whatever, you can read right now. I have some time to explain this mechanic a little bit later.
Absolutely, I get you covered, Truffles. We have a $100 donation from Echo Parallax that says, "Gotta go fast," and they attribute that to the Fight the True final boss incentive. So thank you so much for that amazing, amazing donation.
I just did what I'm doing at least one time in a run, is pressing the reset button by accident. I really need to find a better way to handle my controller, I think, to avoid this kind of stuff happening in any game, by the way. So yeah, this section here introduces the fireballs. Just give me a sec, there you go. And they are a little bit janky because if you hug the walls, whatever the direction they are shooting at, they won't touch you actually. And that's gonna be very useful during the entire round. Okay, we are almost at... Oh, okay, was a little bit too impatient there. And there are other blue blocks there, which I really don't like. There we go.
Your favorite.
A little... Yeah, my favorite. This is a little bit breath of fresh air here because it's definitely not as hard as the previous parts. There are teleporters, there is one which leads you to a gem, but we are taking obviously the fastest path to the end of this section. I'm gonna wait here for the cycle because I'm really not sure, and I was right about doing this. Okay, and the trampoline didn't screw me over like on the practice attempt I did just before this run. That's something that can happen. Oh my god, okay. Game is not behaving right now. So those platforms can be pretty annoying. They are falling apart like you can see here. And yeah, they can make some pretty annoying platforming sections.
Which, kind of like we talked about a little bit earlier, Truffles, is that with it being on a constant timer and constantly going through the cycles, it's not like you can enter a particular area and then immediately know the exact movements you need to do. You have to almost, you know, translate what's in front of you and then say, okay, here we are on the cycle, and then now we go.
Exactly. Sometimes you have to wait few cycles before doing anything. And that can make you losing sometimes 30 seconds or something like this if you're unlucky. If it's right to say it's unlucky. Also, those lasers are one of the worst parts of the game for me, but I'm currently doing pretty well. Okay, that's good.
Oh, that was awesome. Great job.
I'm glad I didn't spend too much time there. Also, this was used to be the worst part for me by far. You can see those moving platforms here. I have to wait for a good cycle there, or I'm never gonna get past that. Okay, first try. That's amazing.
That was great. That was great.
And here I have a specific sequence of jumps to do. Oh, I went too fast there. It's pretty precise. I practiced that, so it shouldn't be too bad. There we go. Oh, I almost died.
Whoa, that was close.
And I died.
Yeah,
jumping, doing some jumps like this. Okay, that's a problem. Okay, I had to improvise here. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I used to have much more issues in this part in the past.
A problem that wasn't much of a problem because you got right through it, Truffles.
This is not an intended pun, but this area is more chill. Usually, it's not as hard as the previous ones. By the way, this is a good time to say that almost all areas in the game has their own unique music, and I think that's a really lovely touch in this game. And most of them are very, very good. Wait, I need to get the right cycle. Okay, I used to have a lot of problem on practice today on this part. And yeah, we will have a little bit of breathing on the next minute and a half, I would say. Okay, so this laser cycle here is bad, so yeah, I had to wait, sadly.
No, that was good. You waited for the right time and you just blew right through it. It was great.
I remember losing a minute to that because I didn't understand what to do, and now I know that I need to wait if I have some issues. So you can think that this part can be difficult because it's very dark, but this is actually one of the easiest parts in the game, especially late in this this part of the game. Still need to be careful about this part because I know I went too fast. There we go. Now it should be a piece of cake, and I'm gonna die.
As soon as you say that, right?
Yeah. No, that's fine. Now it's my current worst part of the run. If you can explain when I'm doing it, I need total focus on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you get into this section, you're dealing obviously with the laser blasts that are going along, but you're also dealing with the lightsaber like pinwheel that's going around. You're also dealing with the platforms. Remember, the yellow and the green are the ones that turn on and turn off as you make each individual jump. You're timing this all by going through the platforms that fall down after you go on top of them, and then it all culminates into reaching one final hallway and a trampoline. Great job, Truffles. That gets you out of that area.
I got few deaths, but the hardest checkpoint in the game for me, I did it on first try, so I'm very happy. It was the second in this section, and I swear you have to be almost a bit lucky to have all the timings, I mean all the cycles being on the right spot to do it perfectly. Also, I'm having troubles with this specific cycle, so I'm gonna wait. There we go. I don't like hitboxes of the flame bars there and the little lava balls as well. It's not a part I really like in the run. This is a second to last, by the way. Okay, there we go. Oh, I forgot about this fireball. There we go. Much better. And then there will be one which I really need to focus on because there are some tight timings. First try.
Oh, good job. That's hard. That's a difficult area.
Yeah, it is. And this is the last section of the game. And there is a very specific mechanic to this one, as you can see. Depending on where am I with the background color, it will change the gravity. Didn't want it to jump there, but I still did. This part is not too hard, to be honest. There is only one specific checkpoint which can be annoying, and it will come pretty soon. Also, the hitbox here is a bit janky, so this should be good. Okay, I actually totally mistimed this. Okay. No, I'm not doing it right, because I'm not on a usual cycle. There we go. So this is where it can be very hard. And time will come pretty soon once I will finish this section. Wait, what am I doing? I'm talking actually, I know what am I doing. This is the last checkpoint, so be ready for the time. And time!
GG.
Okay, 17 minutes, that's not too bad.
Oh, that's super respectable. That's an awesome,
Yeah.
awesome time.
That's respectable for marathon run. And to be honest, talking adds a lot of difficulty. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. Also, I did some very hard parts on first on or second try. So also, 71 respawns is pretty respectable as well. I got 55 on my PB. So yeah, not too bad.
And admittedly, Truffles, there was a handful of times where you were just kind of respawning just for the hay of it because you knew you have to wait for a cycle to go, so you just end up, going into some, some hazards.
Yeah.
So, do you have any shoutouts that you'd like to do before we wrap everything up?
Yeah, so if you want to watch more obscure speedruns action, because I'm a lot of fan of that, you can join me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/MsTruffles. Few shoutouts to my girlfriend who is here on the chat. Shoutouts to my community who is also supporting me. I've seen some names in the chat as well. Thanks to my IRL friends, my family, which is also supporting me. And I'm not done with my runs on Facets First on this edition actually, because I will be back. For me, it will be tomorrow. I don't know for all the time zone, but I'm gonna run Simona's Requiem tomorrow. It will be a very different run, and it's actually my favorite run, so I'm very excited for that. So yeah, that's it for me for this run at least. Good luck to the runners, and keep donating.